I had a few questions in our chat roles about, hey, I'm the established business professional. I've been around for a while. How do I not become the old guy in the room or the old girl in the room, the clunky business owner that doesn't want to change with the times? In your opinion, as the leader of CT Impact, when is a good time to add innovation, and then when is a bad time to innovate?
And I love how you put, I don't want to be the old guy in the room. And the answer to that one is, well, that's the way we've always done it. We've always done it that way, and it worked, and we're always going to do that. So that's comfort. We know we're never going to grow in comfort. If our intention is to grow our business, it is to be disruptive in our business. It is to expand and create more impact for everybody else. We've got to do innovation at some level in our business. We've got to do that, whether that be through different technology platforms. Like the example would be QuickBooks is innovation. If you're still doing a ledger checkbook and rolling through that, and you're having to do it every week, there's no harm, no foul in that. But there's great technology out there to be able to reach out and communicate with your accountant, who you should be using as leverage. Because as a business owner, if you're still doing your books, you're not being innovative. I mean, you're just allowing the world to pass you by. So that's kind of how I define it, is if you're stuck in that rut of, that's the way we've always done it, you're not being innovative, and you're just not looking at all the resources that are out there, which are leverage. And that's where we start to talk about, in that integration of AI. So, I mean, like, being disruptive and innovative doesn't always mean new, but it also means not being stuck in the past of where you used to always be. And that's the way we've always done it. I'm guilty of that too. And there's also the other challenge with that one, and you can totally speak to this, not innovating on everything, right? We can't embrace every single thing out there and make all these monster incremental changes. Kind of tell me what you've been hearing relative to all your coaching people with just innovating too much.
So in Achieve Systems, which, as you know, I'm the president of Achieve Systems, a coaching company and a resource system, leverage, AI, all things above the Walmart of coaching offerings. We run into this, right? I get all these business owners that come to me and say, well, I'm successful, I want to grow. I'm a startup, I want to expand. I am established, I want to diversify. I say, look, what is your competition doing? Are they using technology? If you choose not to use a certain technology, outbound wise, servicing customers, not internally, then market to your strengths, right? It's sometimes innovating means, hey, I'm tried and true. Okay, great. Well, then market that up. Innovate the way you're communicating what it is you do. If you're not using certain innovative tools like the internet or AI, thinking, I don't quite know how you're going to change, because the needs and pulse of the customer base change so rapidly. Sometimes in order to impact people, you need to be using certain buzzwords. So there's a blend of, hey, I want to talk to what you're hearing about in the industry, but I want to stick close to the principles that have grown my business, but yet I don't want to sit there and stagnate in the water. So I realized I just kind of said a merry-go-round of information, and that applies to a lot of different people. So my premier advice to somebody would be this: what are your core principles? How are you extending the value outward to your customers? If you're not communicating in the ways they want to hear, you need to be talking about the new innovations in the industry you're in, and how you're either not following a trend that doesn't work, quote unquote, or you're adapting and saying, we offer this particular service, or we offer this particular amenity in our business. And then furthermore, just on top of that, if you're not leveraging internally to be able to be more present, if you're still using pad and paper, and that's starting to take up a lot of your time in your accounting, you should be leveraging so you can be more present and focus on the deliverables of your business. So that would be my innovation answer without getting overly technical. I mean, this is not a coaching call. This is just an information piece on the idea of innovation. How does
Well,
that sound, Jake?
yeah, and I think you totally nailed it with a great way to assess how you should be being innovative. What does your customer want? What does your client want in the business? Are you providing the experience that they want? Sometimes you're going to have to innovate because they want something else. What's your competition doing? Is your competition using a specific technology that your client really likes? Like they like you as a person, they know, like, and trust you, they want to do business with you, but your client, the client customer likes this other tool. Like they want to use that tool. If you're not bringing that to market, if you're not bringing it to bear, you're not being innovative. You're not exploring that customer experience of what they want. I found that to be true. Man, this has been years ago. I figured that out. I got fired from a right. Yeah, total. Yeah. I got, what did we call it at the time? Released back to industry.
Wow.
Is what we called it at the time, because I was doing what I thought my customers wanted. Right. I was doing, they want this, they want this, they want this, but I never asked them. I didn't ask my customers what they wanted. I didn't ask the business what I was doing. And as a result, they wanted something else. I got fired. So I had to start asking the question of, okay, what is it my customers want? Not what I want to provide to them. So from an innovation standpoint, ask your clients, ask your customers. What a great way to build more relationship, build more rapport is have a conversation with them, shoot them an email, shoot them a text message, record them a video on one of 10,000 platforms that we have that used to do that now, and reach out to them and say, hey man, what do you want? If you had the magic wand to wave, what's the thing you'd want our business doing? And they're going to tell you. They're just totally going to tell you what it is. From that regard of innovation. But I think you nailed it with that of what does your customer want? What's your competition doing that they're migrating over to your competition for? What are they attracted to? Now, sometimes you're going to land in shiny object syndrome. That's going to happen, right? That's the thing in the market. You roll through, like we're recording this video on one platform today. We're going to use some different language. My phone is going to hear something we said today, and my Facebook feed is going to be loaded with a whole bunch of different opportunities that I could do.
Probably job postings, because they said
probably job postings, right? Yeah, because I said I got fired, right? That could totally happen. Indeed is going to be hammering me.
Right.
LinkedIn is going to absolutely reach out and say, hey, here's all the jobs that match your profile. And so how do we avoid it, man? What are you hearing? How do we avoid shiny object syndrome so that we know we stay focused in our innovation?
So basically, whenever I've done in all my industries I've been in, is I do a deep dive, right? I start looking, first of all, I keep my ears to the ground with my customer base. I'm listening, and I'm instructing my other coaches and people to listen to some conversations that they're having in between the actual business dialogue about what they're reading, what they're listening to. When I'm working one-on-one with people, I ask, hey, what's going on in your life? How's your day? What's been happening? What have you been up to? What have you been doing? What have you been researching? I literally, I have an acquired skill set of just cataloging this. And then in my free time, I'm actually looking at what they're doing. First of all, I'm not trying to be obsessive about my customers or anything. But what I'm trying to do is get in their head a little more and make sure that I'm doing the right thing. Or if I'm not, it's for a reason. I say, look, I can find you 4 or 5 shiny object partners that I have because they're deep diving in the shiny object. I'll be there in my head. But right now, that's not my area. I'm not going to fake it, but I'm going to catch up and be able to position myself as the expert about when and where I should or shouldn't be introducing a shiny object to somebody. And I'm going to be out in front. We talked about this a couple of shows ago about just crystal clear communication. You see it all the time, like in the health industry, supplements, longevity, biohacking, all that stuff's coming out. If you don't know anything about that, you got to position yourself to be involved in when and where to start talking about that if you're not involved in that. And then you've got to go out and seek strategic partners that are going to sort of captivate your referral customers to them and bounce them back to you. I mean, this is real stuff, but this is how you avoid shiny object. You position yourself as the expert and you say, okay, I'm going to go for the shiny object. I'm going to refer the shiny object. And after a while, if it resonates with you, you're going to adopt it into your business and you're going to do it. But we don't have a ton of hours in the day. So it's really crystal clear to always think, man, what am I aligned with? How can I impact people the best? And then how can I control the customer environment and keep them in my vacuum, but in a real heartfelt way, and say, let me bring in other people. How's that landing with you, Jake? Does that sound linear? Did that sound?
Yeah, man, that's absolutely true of what it is. I mean, there's so much I want to bring in other people and have that conversation about if I don't know the thing, somebody else knows the thing, and I should be educating myself by surrounding myself with the people that know about it. So that rolls right into the official buzzword of what's going on right now, AI, and how, right? AI and innovation. Like, I don't care what's going on in AI. It's new. It's new every 10 seconds. There's something new going on with AI. Yep. And this goes right back to the beginning of, well, maybe I don't want to be, I don't want to do that because I don't understand it. It's too new. I've even heard some people say that are respected elders. That was a mean way to say that. Mentors in a community that said, hey, AI is just a passing fad. I don't think that that's true. I mean, we're doing a lot of different things to integrate AI at where I don't want to use the word comfortable because I hate the word comfortable because we can't grow in comfort, but of what is acceptable, an acceptable tolerance of growth utilizing AI. And there's lots of ways to use it. If you have decided still not to do the paid ChatGPT account, you're running a couple minutes behind. There's a difference between the two, not just I got to pay for the one, you get a different result. So,
right. Absolutely. I think that Jake, do we have freeze? What's going on there? Well, I guess we lost Jake for a second there. I don't know if he's still talking.
I mean, we lost me for. There we are. We're back.
I was getting ready to just jump right on you there, man. Little internet freeze.
I know. So that's
to edit that out.
We'll edit that one out. So back to it.
Yep, so back to it. You were saying AI. So I wanted to just hijack. I'm glad you paused. So I'm going to hijack this conversation for a second. I think if you're not paying for the $20 ChatGPT, you better have friends like you or somebody else that I know, because I have friends. But real quick, I know we're getting close on time. We didn't even hit leverage yet. Let's break down for the audience. This is my take on AI right now, right? You've got this paid for ChatGPT that's sort of a pumped up search engine that can do things like create content, create fake people, make pictures, design things. It's got this whole world that is driven by prompts that have to tell the AI what to do. And then at the end of the prompt, if you don't have the correct result, you have to either, figure out new prompts or something like that. And then you've got the other piece of AI that installs into existing business growth software where either it's already done for you or you have to figure out someone that can create a version of something you need. And then you install that into your platforms so that it either acts as yourself or it communicates around you. I mean, you're like an AI savant. So what are we looking at? Am I wrong? Right? What am I leaving out? I
don't know that I call myself a savant necessarily in that degree, but I've decided to embrace it. Right? I've decided to embrace it as a piece of leverage. And we said we hadn't covered leverage. But that's not necessarily true, right? Tools are leverage. People are leverage. When I'm not doing it, I'm leveraging something else to do it. So within AI, we've made the decision to embrace different tools within it. We are building outbound calling stuff that we're doing that is just crazy efficient, can make way more phone calls than we could. But guess what? That technology's kind of been there because a lot of people have been using dialers. They've been using auto dialers. Now it's just simply there's a voice behind it doing a thing. So and what I would tell you and where I want to leave you with AI, if you're still playing in ChatGPT land, there's an old cult movie called Seventh Son. If you haven't seen it, it's hilarious. It's an old Jeff Bridges movie where he talks about wrong questions get wrong answers. If you simply approach AI from a wrong questions get wrong answers, if you are pumping in something and the results coming out wrong, it's because you're asking it the wrong question. Go back and ask it a better question, and like test it and test it and test it till you get the results you want. It's scientific theory. Use it the same way. You got taught this in 6th grade on how to run this up the hill. So that's what I would say. And this is such a much longer conversation, and we're going to keep diving into this because AI is going to keep coming up. So here's what I'm going to tell you relative to this. If you like the content that you're seeing, go to totaldisruption.com. This is the good stuff on the front end. We've got great stuff on the back end you guys are going to want to see. Be part of the community. Be part of the conversation. Go to Total Disruption. Go in there, sign up. Let us know how we can help you. Money's never the issue, guys. There's always a way around it, whether you're leveraging it or you have partners or you're asking. Mark Victor Hansen had a great book that he wrote recently in partnership called Ask. That's a great read if you haven't done it. Another one is 1 Minute Millionaire. Not pitching Mark today, but those are relevant to mindset and relevant to that innovative thought process using what we already know. So sometimes it's not brand new. It's if I want to innovate, I've got to use the tools that I have at hand. That's what true leverage is. Archimedes said, you give me a lever long enough and a place to stand and I will move the world. That's innovation, and that's been around for what, 1,000 years at this point. Yeah, so that's what we got to say. Thanks for joining us today on Total Disruption. Come check it out on the backside. We'd love for you to join the community and join the conversation.
Bye, everybody. Till next time.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Jake.